Hi, beautiful. Welcome to the Spiritually Beautiful podcast. Here we discuss self love, spiritual alignment, self development, and women empowerment. No matter where you're listening from, this is a safe space. Let's step into alignment, one conversation at a time. All right, so if this is your first time being here, thank you for being here. I hope you get something out of this message or this conversation. And if you have been here before and you are returning, thank you so much. I do appreciate that. I would love and appreciate if you guys would give me a like and a subscription. So I'm going to get right into today's topic, which is about healing from abandonment as an adult. All right. I know a lot of people go through a lot of different things, and we have to heal. And some situations are worse than others. Some we want to just push down and just forget about it, but we may have a trigger here or there, and it brings that back out of you, whether it's from trauma bonding, just trauma in general, or just any type of abandonment from anyone. So this would mean your partner, your parent, someone that you thought was a good friend, or someone that you just really trusted, and they're no longer there for you, or they treated you neglectful. But let's say we start with how to understand abandonment beyond childhood, basically. Because like I said, a lot of people went through different things. So I can't speak on what you went through as a child because I don't know. And I don't want to be wrong, or I don't want to trigger anything, and I don't want to not be helpful, because the whole purpose of this page is to be helpful in some way. And again, a lot of the things that I speak on, I am going through myself or have been through, and it has helped me. So what we're going to do is speak on abandonment. And I do want to say that abandonment doesn't always come from someone physically leaving you. Sometimes it comes from emotional absence, inconsistency, or just feeling unseen. All right. And see, people from all walks of the world, different people in your life for different reasons can make you feel all of that. So it's not necessarily that they weren't there with you physically and they just left you. It's like, say for I'm going to speak on relationship wise. Say or it could just be anything, it could be parents, whatever. If you are with somebody, or you have a friendship with somebody, a relationship with somebody, and they aren't there emotionally for you. Like, you're there with them physically, but you can't talk to them. They don't give you advice. They don't show love, all of that. So that's that emotional absence. And then being inconsistent. So say things are going good and the relationship is fine for 1 or 2 months, and then it just dies down. So just different things like that. And as adults, abandonment wounds can show up as many things. So you could have some type of fear of being replaced or forgotten, and again, this can be a relationship, it can be a friendship, or whatever, everything doesn't have to be intimate. That's my point. So just take it how it resonates. But another way some type of abandonment wounds can come up is where you're over giving to avoid being left. So you're paying your way, That shit ain't cool at all. You know, staying too long in an unhealthy relationship. Now that is something I definitely went through several times. Stayed way too long. And then anxiety, when people pull away from you, you don't know what to do, so those are all signs of abandonment as adults. And spiritually, abandonment teaches the soul to look outside of itself for safety. All right. So the healing begins when you realize that the wound is old, but the body is still responding, if that makes sense. The wound is old, but the body is still responding. You are still healing. You can always heal. That wound is there, but you can always heal from it. Okay? So I just wanna put out how abandonment affects the adult nervous system. And I know a lot of people probably don't even know what I'm talking about when I say abandonment affects the nervous system. Do you know what the nervous system is? That's one. Do you know how your nervous system is affected in different cases? That's two. If you don't, you can definitely Google, Chat GPT, whatever you need to do to find some information on your nervous system. But when abandonment is unhealed, the nervous system stays on alert. So spiritually and emotionally, these things can look like overthinking silence, taking distance personally, feeling unsafe in a calm relationship, confusing intensity with love, or toxic with love, confusing the two. So the soul learned early that connection could disappear, so it stays hyper vigilant. Healing is basically teaching your body that it's okay to be safe with yourself. It's okay to not have somebody there physically. It's okay to not have someone there emotionally, because that's something you have to have within yourself for yourself. Love yourself, care for yourself. Now, nothing's wrong with receiving these things from the outside, but you first have to understand that it's okay if you are alone, to where, feeling abandoned isn't even a topic. It's nothing, basically, So what we first have to do to start healing is release the belief that love must be earned. Man, listen, I know so many people say love has to be earned. You have to you have to earn love. No, you don't. If somebody loves you, they're gonna love you. You don't have to earn shit. Be yourself, and they're gonna give it to you. You don't have to go out of your way to do anything extra to earn love. Love does not have to be earned. That's one. And one of the deepest spiritual imprints of abandonment is the belief that love must be earned, and it doesn't. And when people believe that, you start people pleasing, you start self-abandonment, you start shrinking your needs, and you start ignoring your intuition. You start believing all the red flags. And spiritually, healing means returning to the truth. And when you return to the truth, you know that love is alignment. Love is not a performance. You don't have to perform to be loved. You don't have to earn to be loved. It aligns. When someone loves you, that's that alignment. It's already going to be there. So you don't have to exhaust yourself to be worthy of a good connection. And you can heal from this. And that's the whole discussion of healing from abandonment issues. And as adults, healing abandonment means becoming the safe presence we didn't always have, or becoming that safe presence that we always wanted. Basically, same thing. So when you spiritually reparent yourself, that looks like speaking kindly to yourself, saying some of those affirmations. I give a lot of self-love affirmations. Check my pages out. You can even go to my sales page and pick up my daily affirmation ebook. Amazing affirmations in there. Or you can just look at what I put out for free. Like the affirmation book, it's like $4, but even so, like I said, I have some that I put on my page out at least 3 times a week. Go to those self-love affirmations and utilize them. Change some of the words if you need to from how you speak. From how I have them to how you speak, or how you will understand it, or how it will better align with you, because I know we are from different places. We've been raised differently. And, I'm a little more comfortable saying, man, fuck that shit, instead of, let's not do this today. We're not doing this today. We're not doing this today. No, that's the same thing to me as, man, fuck that shit. You know what I'm saying? Depending on how I feel. But change some of those affirmations around to where it will fit and benefit you. Okay. And then if it's good just how it is, just utilize it. Say it every day. Use it. Some I like that I see, some I don't like. So if you don't like some of them, I totally understand. But you have to start speaking kindly to yourself, and you have to utilize these self-love affirmations. Okay. Follow through on your own needs. Don't, worry about what somebody else is not doing for you. Do it yourself. That's just like if you were in a relationship and, you ever heard anybody say, don't ask a man for anything you can't do for yourself? Yeah, it's like that. So start following through for your own needs. Create consistency in your routines. Be consistent with what you're doing. Be serious about it. Be for real about it. And honor your emotions without shame. So if you angry, yell. If you sad, cry. If you're happy, laugh. Honor your emotions. It's okay to feel how you feel. That's totally fine. So when you show up for yourself, your soul learns that I'm not alone anymore. I have me. Exactly. You have yourself. So we're going to have to start working on that nervous system as adults. We don't need to be around here overthinking and getting depressed and overeating and not eating and, self-sabotage. We're not doing any of that. All right. So, after you start, just giving more to yourself, you don't worry about, damn, they just left me, or damn, they didn't respond, or damn, they didn't. We not worry about they. You worry about yourself. Worry about yourself. Worry about you and how you feel. You feel good. You loving yourself. You have to start loving yourself more, because once you start loving yourself more and appreciating yourself and knowing how wonderful and beautiful and amazing and smart and intelligent and strong you are, you're not going to worry about somebody abandoning you. You're not going to worry about that. So learn to sit with solitude without being afraid. For many people with abandonment wounds, solitude feels threatening. It feels scary. But spiritually, solitude is where your intuition gets louder. You can hear yourself now. You can understand and think Why do I act this way? Why do I say this? Why do I do this? Why do I love this? Start learning yourself. Your healing deepens. Your identity stabilizes. So learning to be alone without feeling abandoned is a major spiritual milestone. It's a major spiritual milestone. And sometimes to heal, you have to be by yourself, especially if you know you're dealing with something you really aren't happy about. And I actually have another discussion that I'm going to do about that. So I'm going to talk about that later. But when it comes to this abandonment, you have to just stabilize your identity and be with yourself more. And once you're with yourself more, you're not concerned about somebody else not being there, because you're there. You're there for you, So that's where you start setting your boundaries, and don't be afraid of being left when somebody don't like your boundaries, baby, because guess what? They're supposed to respect you. And healing abandonment will require boundaries. Okay. So when you set your boundaries, and I have some self-love, self-awareness affirmations on how you can set your boundaries for people. So you can go over some of those too. They are also on my page, Facebook. I have a Facebook page. I have a TikTok. I have an Instagram. I put all of my affirmations and all of that on there. So you can go over some of those as well. But you have to set those boundaries, okay? And it does sound scary, and it may sound, or you may think like, if I say no, they'll leave me, or if I say no, they're going to stop hanging out with me. Or if I ask for something, they're going to tell me I want too much. If I ask for something, they're going to say I'm begging. If I need this, they're going to say I'm needy. Well, no. First of all, if anybody thinks that of you and you're just expressing your emotions, they don't need to be around anyway. You should have been set them boundaries. But hey, it's okay. It's okay. I'm about to be 45 years old. A lot of this shit, I wish I would have known when I was 20. I wish I would have known 20 years ago. So age has nothing to do with it. It's all about how you were raised, who you were around, who you learn things from, and the environments you were around. And if you were in a low, poverty-driven neighborhood, or people with self-love issues, just wherever you was around, that's okay. You can get yourself out of that. You can get yourself up out of that. I did. And now I am trying to help and encourage other people to do the same. So spiritually, your boundaries will basically filter what's meant for you. And it won't push away what's meant for you. Again, it will filter it, but it won't push it away. You see what I'm saying? So if people respect you and love you how they should, or how you respect and love them, they will understand those boundaries. They won't feel threatened, or they won't feel like they don't want to be around you anymore. They won't feel like you being funny, or you being rude, or you being mean. They will respect it, and they will understand. And if they do leave, okay, they've been filtered. So more room for the next person who respects you. Okay. And anybody that aligns with you will respect you. And anyone who isn't aligned with you probably will not. But at the end of the day, that's perfectly fine. You guys aren't aligned anyway, right? You're changing spiritually. You're growing spiritually. You need the right people in your life. So, no biggie. And abandonment wounds can make you rush connections. So be careful when it comes to that, because spiritually, healing is learning to trust that what's meant for you will stay. What's meant for you will stay. So if anything that's meant to be, gonna be, basically. If it's meant to be, it's gonna be. You don't have to worry about it. You don't have to nothing. Now, say for instance, if you worried about telling somebody something and how they gonna react, and they not gonna be okay, they don't need to be around anyway. But if you can say, oh, I'm gonna tell this person this and they're gonna understand me and we're gonna have a nice adult conversation, okay, cool, good. Because when you're healing, 9 times out of 10, that should rub off on the other person if they're not already healing or already healed or healing. But if they're still kind of toxic, they might not understand, and that's totally fine, because you need somebody who's on your level, somebody who's healing, somebody who's doing their work on their journey as well, But again, when you're healing, you will learn that what's meant for you will stay, and what leaves is basically not in your source. Okay. Just look at it like you are learning discernment. You're learning how to discern what's for you and what's not, and you're building your knowledge, and that's awesome. But healing abandonment as an adult isn't about feeling triggered. It's about no longer letting fear run your choices. And that fear is of losing someone, because if they are for you, they're going to be there through your journey, through your healing, and they will respect it. Excuse me, y'all. But when you stop abandoning yourself, the world will mirror your stability. Just know that you don't have to disappear to be loved, okay? You don't have to stay by yourself forever. You don't have to, just be alone forever. I'm not saying that, but put up those boundaries. Love yourself more. Stop shrinking for people. Stop thinking if you tell somebody, okay, I'm going to have to put up this boundary. I am changing. I'm doing this, and they don't want to be around you anymore. If they don't, oh well. Let them go. Let them go. And I'm not saying him as a man. I said them. Let them go. Because it could be anybody. I don't want to just pinpoint it on a relationship, But 9 times out of 10, it may be a relationship, but it could be anybody. It could be a friendship. It could be family members. If they don't respect you, or you feel some type of way when you're around them, or you're afraid that you're not going to have them if you express how you feel or express your emotions, they don't need to be around you anyway. Set those boundaries. Love on yourself a little more, and the right people will come into your life. The right people will come into your life. So, as you know, I have my closing affirmation, and this affirmation is, I am safe within myself. I trust that aligned love also stays. So yeah, if somebody that's really fucking with you, they gonna be there. They ain't going nowhere, But if you gotta drop somebody off, then drop them off. Let them go. Don't keep having that weird feeling trying to keep somebody around. So release that abandonment, those abandonment issues, those feelings that make you feel however you may feel. Just release it, and to help heal and release is to set those boundaries. And like I said, I have some self-awareness, some self-love boundaries. I'll put some out just for healing from abandonment. I'll do self-love, healing from abandonment affirmations. I'll put some of those out if that'll help clarify things a little bit. But hopefully this message did help. This discussion helped. So as we close today's discussion, I want you to take a moment to breathe and reflect on what resonated with you. Growth doesn't happen all at once, and it darn sure doesn't happen overnight, okay? It happens in small, intentional moments. And you have to work on it, and you have to be consistent. I think I did mention that. As a matter of fact, I know I mentioned that you have to be consistent And you have to say those affirmations. You have to heal yourself, and you have to believe and trust in yourself and love on yourself more. You know, remember, you are allowed to evolve. You're allowed to change. You're allowed to be a better you. You're allowed to want better for yourself. You are allowed to choose peace. And you are allowed to become the woman you feel you're called to be. You know, you can always be better. Always. All of us, anybody, you can always be better. So, thank you for sharing your time and your energy with me. If this discussion spoke to you, spoke to your spirit, be sure to subscribe, leave a comment, or share it with someone that may need this message. And until next time, as always, choose love, choose peace, and choose you, because you're worth it. Mwah.